Let's try this again. Hello, my name is MJ and I'm the host of this channel of MJ Drama Life, and welcome back to my channel. I did this before, but apparently did not record the songs. So we got another 25 minutes to go. But anyway, I just want to do a quick little snippet. We're not going to go through every single song, because most of you may have heard this album, but I'm doing a little chat and review of J-Hope's Jack in the Box. And if you like videos like this, go ahead and give me a thumbs up or subscribe. I love talking about the things that people don't like talking about when it comes to K-pop. I'm pretty honest, pretty raw about it. I have been into K-pop, K-dramas since 2007. I say full time. I was introduced to K-pop, K-dramas when I lived in Korea as a military brat in the late 90s. So I was a teen at that time. So I like to try to give my perspective of this genre through a female, older, and also through a person of color, black K-pop fan, because a lot of things. So we're going to listen to this a little bit, and we might be skipping around. So hopefully this tickles your fancy, and let's hit it. So we're doing the intro, and then we'll keep going, and we're just going to have a conversation.
What Zeus had kept inside the box broke loose from their confinement.
I'm going to turn this down just a little
All
bit
that was foul was now
more,
unleashed upon the
because we don't need it too loud. I mean, I think you guys can still hear it a little bit in the background, but I think I like this album more because this is what hip-hop music is, and I think a lot of people were a little shocked that this is J-Hope. BTS fans are used to a certain expectation, used to a certain persona, and I think that persona sort of got smashed when J-Hope came out with this. Okay, I'm just going to put it up a little bit more so you can hear just a little bit more. But I love it. The reason why I love it is because reading J-Hope's, I guess, opinion about the album, and we're going to Pandora's Box, but also listening to or reading other members' thoughts about the album. They said this is who J-Hope is. Yes, J-Hope being smiley and happy, that's not saying that's not who he is, but that is not all that is to him. So hold on for a second. My computer wants to be a butt. Let me just say, yeah, it's being a butt right now. When I first did this, it was stable. Now it doesn't want to be stable. Probably because it's saying, nope, not today. Nope. That is a BTS song. No, not today. Okay, so sorry guys, I don't have high-tech equipment. I am not a high-tech YouTuber. This is just what it is, you know. My internet sucks back here sometimes, and I know some people want the best content, but I'm trying to do the best that I can, but mainly it's for the discussion. I think all of this is pretty good, but anyway, let's get into it a little bit more about J-Hope. I actually like this. There we go. Sorry guys. There you go. Yeah, just a little bit. But going into J-Hope and why he does what he's doing and everything like that is because this is who he is and what he wanted to explore. And this shows a sign of growth in artistry. There's so many people who get a little upset when some fans didn't like OT7, aka BTS, with the butter and dynamite and permission to dance, and they're like, they have a reason, they have a right to grow and try new things. And I understand trying new things, but you can just tell that wasn't them. Okay, I turned it back down so you can hear me a little bit more. I think you still hear it in the background. But that wasn't them, I think. And even I think BTS has said they didn't want to do the English songs. But as time went on with HYBE, I think HYBE has been a money grab. They've been a money grab for a lot of years. And part of it was when they decided to go public, have stockholders and stuff like that, and stock shares and stuff like that. So in order to make sure your company is valued as the top of his list, you're going to sit up here and you have to make sure you have the product valued as high as you can. In order to keep that product value, you have to keep coming out with product after product after product after product, and have to keep funneling money. And when 2016, 2017 hit, BTS has been on a non-stop run. Not saying that BTS wasn't on a run prior to that, but they were on a non-stop run from them, and they haven't had a time to have a break. And product after product after product came out. DVDs, memories, collabs, everything you can think of kept coming out with BTS, and they haven't had a time to pause. Alright, so we are with the first video that came out from this album. Okay, I'll just turn it up a little bit. But anyway, we noticed that with all this, it's just more and more. Song more. And that's also, I go back to the reason why I think BTS has stayed on top for so long. It's not that they're not good, don't get me wrong, but when you just want more money, your quality of your product is going to go down. Not saying that their products are bad right now, but if you think about it, the quality is going to go down. You're not going to produce and point out the best of the best, because you don't have time to get the best of the best. You just have the time to give enough to feed the demand, and they were feeding the demand, and armies and K-pop fans alike was eating it up. And what bothered me a lot, and this was also seen in some of the comments, it was not all the comments, but in one of my groups on Facebook, they sat up there and they talked about, why isn't J-Hope number one? Why aren't we sitting here streaming? Why hasn't he got the views like he does with BTS? This is disrespectful. And that was my main point right there. I've been saying that a lot of the things that BTS has achieved, not saying they don't have merit, was just because they're popular, fans just streamed them, fans just gave them number ones. Even if the song, they didn't like it, they said, well, they deserve it. But that sort of watered down their content, and I think it watered it down to the point where I think the Grammy Association was just wanting people, not saying people didn't nominate because they didn't like them, but it seems like they just put them in there just because. But I think this whole album by J-Hope is amazing. It is really good. I'm turning it back down so you can hear me a little bit better, so than the music. It is beyond amazing. This is music. And I think what they were saying, how they lost themselves, is because that they were just keep putting stuff out, and didn't have really enough time to really digest what they put out. It was more, let's feed the public, the masses, what they want. Even it might not go back to what you guys were doing in the beginning. We're going to still keep the BTS feel and do what we need to do, but we're going to make sure we have our public fed. And they did. And fans ate it up. But what bothered me is, like I said with the comment that somebody posted, like, why aren't we streaming? Was you don't stream just because. If you like it, you like it. Music is subjective. Yes, there's some objective facts to music with the musicality, the styling, the actual writing of songs, the chords, stuff like that. There is some objective parts to music, but a lot of music is subjective. But the issue is that when it was OT7, you couldn't be subjective. You had to be all in or not. And a lot of people were not all in during Permission to Dance. I wasn't. That song sucked. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it. It sounded like an 80s, 90s sitcom. Yes, I understand the sentiment. I do like the lyrics, but lyrics does not always make a song. They could have had those same lyrics put to another song. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I think that Ed Sheeran screwed over BTS. I'm just saying. Think about it. Ed Sheeran, this man who sat up here and has written hit after hit, you gonna give him this song called Permission to Dance? That's a 90s type sitcom. Nothing with deeper meaning. You could still took those words and sat there and put it to a song that was BTS. I think it was done for one reason. It was done for the Western audience. That's just my opinion. And the song was horrible. That's it. I understand with the sign language. Got that. Sentiment I like. But everything else, horrible. But anyway, when the person posted that comment about why aren't we doing this for J-Hope, why aren't we doing the same thing that we do for BTS, a lot of people sat there and said, don't bully people into voting. If they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. People have different taste in music, and that's what it is about. And I was like, finally. But why weren't we on the same page when it came to BTS OT7 during the Permission to Dance in the English songs? Because everybody's standing up and saying, well, I'm not sure about this J-Hope. Is it the same J-Hope we know? And people are like, yes, I get it. And people are more open right now to him being open to trying new stuff. But when it was the English songs, let me tell you, some hardcore ARMY fans, or I don't know, they're fans or whatever it is, inside their little box and closed-minded, sat up here and attacked people. Sat there and said they have a right to try new things. They have a right. They can't stay in the box forever or whatever. No. If somebody has an opinion about a song that they don't like, just let them have their opinion. You may love it, but a lot of people didn't like it. And even BTS didn't want to sing those English songs. It was pretty much you're voluntold. I think a lot of people don't understand, even though BTS does have a lot of, how do you say, wiggle room and freedom. Their freedom, I get to say, is about 90-10. They have 90% of freedom to do exactly what they want, but 10% comes from the company. And that 10%, that company will push forward first before their artists. As you see, they're supposed to take a break after the Months of 7 Map of the Soul tour, but of course it didn't happen because of COVID. And I think, and just thinking about it right now, and I noticed a little side note, I think that BTS was not saying that they weren't upset that they couldn't do the tour because they won't be able to see their fans. Sorry about my internet acting up, but I just want to get this done and out. I think they were more upset at the fact that right now their whole plans to stop, to take a break and be people was disrupted. They were more upset about that, in my opinion. Not saying they didn't want to see the fans, but they knew they were still going to interact and connect with the fans because HYBE had a plan, and HYBE threw that plan out so quickly. It was like they already had that in their back pocket. I'm sorry. This song also sounds like it has a sample in it from, is it Black Eyed Peas? I forgot what song it is. Somebody, if you know what song, let me know. There we go. Just a little bit more. But anyway, what I was saying is that I really, 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 really hope that BTS is enjoying themselves. But I think they are, because if you see them at these, ever since they, I know I need to calm myself down, but because I'm excited. I love this whole album anyway. But when you see them at the parties and ever since they announced, they look like they just like waiting to exhale. That was BTS. They had their moment and they're like, okay, we can be people. Yes, we are BTS. Yes, we are K-pop idols, but right now we can be people. But also they said during their festa, I believe, I didn't watch it, just getting little snippets here and there for people in different groups that I'm in, is that they have lost their stuff, but now they can try new things and they can be people. And also they know that they cannot be K-pop idols for the rest of their life. on Reflection. That's what we're on. But anyway, let's keep rolling. I think it's Reflection, yeah. But anyway, it is just amazing that they needed that break. And I think HYBE knew it. But HYBE, like I said, is a company first. Artist is second. Not saying that they're not up there at the top with each other close. But anyway, they're able to breathe and do what they want to do. And like I said, they can't be K-pop idols for the rest of their life, but they want to be musicians. They want to be artists. And being an artist means you have to grow and try new things and get outside the box. Hence Jack in the Box. And so BTS needed to. And this is J-Hope's first step to do that. He is defying being an idol. And another thing I want to tell people and everything, the K-pop music is not the only mainstream music in Korea. They have so many other artists that is just as good as BTS or even better on some aspects. And I think a lot of K-pop fans think K-pop is, let me rephrase that because I'm making assumptions. I think a good amount of K-pop fans may not have broadened their horizon to know that K-pop music is not the only sound in Korea. Not talking about K-hip-hop. I'm talking about there is a lot of other music out there. So I'm trying to see if my computer wants to do what it wants to do. This is my favorite song of the whole album. Because if you know why, if you know what this song sample comes from, if you don't know where this song sample comes from, then you don't know hip hop. Just telling you. I can jam this all day. Anyway, but still finishing what I was saying is that I think K-pop put Korea on the map, and I get that and stuff like that, but Korea, there's a lot of music. So if you want to learn more about Korean music besides just K-pop, watch a TV show called Immortal Songs. Immortal Song will teach you the history of not only Korean music, but also some of the histories that have happened in Korea and some of their tragedies and their stories. It is very, very, very good. And on Immortal Songs, you get to be introduced to amateur singers, to rookie singers, and you do have K-pop idols on there. But I'm going to tell you this one thing about Immortal Songs. A lot of the artists on there are not K-pop idols. I'm just telling you that. And when K-pop idols go on there, they do not win. So what is Immortal Song? Let me break it down a little bit. It is a competition where people come on and pay tribute to immortals, meaning to people who are legends, from producers, songwriters, to artists themselves who have made an impact in Korean music industry. And so you have these other musicians and artists who come on there and they pick one of those legend songs and they redo it in their own style. And then you have an audience, and I think it may be still 500, but I'm not sure because of COVID. It's lessened, but it's an audience of 500. So you compete and you get voted by the audience. The person with the highest votes at the end of the show wins a trophy, and it is one of the best shows ever. That's how I learned a lot of Korean history and about a lot of Korean music, and was introduced to a lot of Korean artists that aren't K-pop idols. And let me tell you, K-pop idols do not win on that show that much. And I think it's not because they're not good. It's because we have a commercial. It's because the audience has a certain particular taste, and it all depends on the audience, who they are. But ATEEZ has won multiple times on that show, and they have done amazing when they're on that show. So check it out. Immortal Songs, Singing the Legend. So we are on J-Hope Safety Zone. This is visual. And if my video is crappy in the background, I apologize, because I recorded this once and it was smooth as butter. And now I have to go back and re-record it, and it is not smooth at all. It is just not. And I think I changed the settings, and I think because of that, my computer and internet is pulling more broadband, and that's why it's doing this. So next time I need to find out what settings I put it on. But anyway, we're almost done. We got 2 more songs left after this. So anyway, I'm just going in to continue to say that I love Korean music. I love their music industry. There's a lot of things about it, and I think BTS understands this ideal. I don't know if other idol groups understands this ideal as much as BTS does. There may be some that do, that sit up here and map out what I need to do for my future, because I can't be an idol for the rest of my life. There's some of them who are putting themselves in that idol zone. So some of the groups like Shinhwa and Super Junior, they're like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. So they remind me of like Backstreet Boys and New Edition and New Kids on the Block. But they do other things outside of that, of being these boy bands and performing. But they know that this is what they want to do. But they do other things beside that. So I think BTS wants to move more from idol title to artist. Just artist. I am a Korean artist. And J-Hope is showing this with this. And I think a lot of fans are a little shocked by this, but I think he deserves all the accolades for this, because it's not easy to me to produce something like this that is not K-pop, because this is not K-pop at all. And I think there's a lot of other groups who can produce music that isn't in that typical K-pop box, and this is one of it. Another group I can say who stepped out the K-pop box was Monster X, and yes, they're all English albums, stepped out the box. So if you want to hear something that is not just a visually pleasing album, but musicality wise on the top, Monster X The Dreaming. I'm telling you, if BTS sang that album, it would have been number 1. It would have got a Grammy. Just because. And the reason why I'm saying that, again, going back to the just because, I think part of the reason, it's not all of it, not saying it's the fans' fault, but part of the reason BTS is burnt out is because of the high expectations. And those high expectations also came from HYBE. Man, I'm so mad about this internet. But came back from HYBE, but also the fans. We put BTS on a pedestal just because we felt they deserve it. Not saying they didn't have merit, but it's just because. We're just going to sit here and sell out just because. We're going to vote for them to be number 1 just because they're BTS. And that can cause an artist to burn out. You know, you're sitting up here trying to be the best that you can and give your fans what you want. But at the same time, what about us? So when J-Hope came out with this, a lot of fans were like, this isn't BTS. And it might not have been BTS, but it's J-Hope. This is who J-Hope is. And I think sometimes we have to step outside our box and understand our idols aren't what we expect them to be. And as I think Suga said this before, and also RM, and also when they talked about the album Persona, think about it. Everybody has multiple personas, you know, and artists have a lot more than what the average person does, because you have it what you give to your fans. You have a persona when you get on the stage to perform. You have a persona with your friends or close friends, with your family. You also have it with your acquaintances, and also how you're at work, or also how you are on variety shows. So whatever persona they put out there is not 100% of who they are. Like their 100% completely free persona, who they are, they show that to certain people. And those people that they show it to are lucky enough to see it. But remember, your idols aren't exactly 100% who they are. But sometimes we put that expectation on them because BTS shares so much with us. And yes, their natural personalities are in there, but we don't know everything about them. But we feel that we do because they shared so much. And when J-Hope came out with this, people were a little shocked because it's not the J-Hope I know. This is the J-Hope that came into my screen on a weekly, monthly basis through the variety show. This is a completely different J-Hope. And no, this is J-Hope is what you saw, is what HYBE, BTS put out there. This is what it is. So this is who our J-Hope is. So I think a lot of people are supporting him, but I am so proud. So who loves K-pop, who loves K-dramas, and I'm sitting up here just giving you it like it is, raw, what it is. So we're on the last bit. And again, if you like stuff like this, just being open and talking and listening and sharing ideas and your opinions and want a nice, open, free, safe space, come to this channel. That's what MJ Drama Life is. I also have a lot of stuff about K-dramas. So if you want to talk K-dramas, I got it for you. I love K-dramas. All I watch is Korean television shows and everything. And it's from a perspective of an older K-pop fan and a black K-pop fan. I got you. So we're on the last song, Arson, and a lot of the music that he has, this album says 90s, but some of it reminds me of Onyx. I don't know if anybody know who Onyx are, but if you don't, go look them up. They are amazing, and if you like 90s hip-hop, J-Hope just sat there and embodied it with this album. And anyway, so my last couple of thoughts on everything with BTS and all this stuff, and I'm going to go ahead and turn this down a little bit so we can finish our conversation without. My last thought about everything with BTS finally, being free to do what they want to do is that it's finally we're going to get some great masterpieces. To me, finally, I think they're going to go back to who they are originally and their roots. Let me explain to you. I was glad that a lot of people, stood up for J-Hope and everything and say that to each their own when it comes to being subjective. But I'm going to tell you, I did not like Permission to Dance. If I said this already earlier, I cannot stand that song. That song is bad to me. It was bad. But anyway, I'm glad that they're finally being free to do what they like to do, and I cannot wait to see J-Hope on Lollapalooza and also TXT. If you have Hulu, don't worry if you didn't get tickets, you can't, or the money, you can't go out there. If you have Hulu, and there's some other places also, I think YouTube, you can watch it there, so you can see it there in the safety of your home. Not with all those people, you can watch it there. So let's support J-Hope and everything like that. And here we are done with Arson. I love this song. I love this whole album. But anyway, I know I was all over the place, and I'm going to go ahead and pause it right now because we are pretty much done. But I just want to say I appreciate BTS for being honest and letting people know, we are effing burnt out. We understand. We want to give you guys, fans, exactly what you have expected of us, but we don't even know who we are anymore, and we don't want to let our fans down. And that's the sad part. They don't want to let their fans down if they can't be themselves. And I think we put these unbelievable expectations on because we were spoiled. I'm not gonna lie, we were spoiled as BTS fans. We were given a lot of material, a lot of merch, a lot of openness by them, and we expected this. We don't want this to go away. However, sometimes when you get too spoiled, you have to understand the person who is doing it, the toll it takes on them. They have to step back just for a little bit. We're still gonna get stuff from them. Also, I think us fans also put those expectations on them. We wanted them to be the top tier, so we pushed them to that top tier, and I think doing that sort of burnt them out too. So now we got to step back and let BTS be BTS. Let them be people, not let them be just BTS, but let them be people. And seeing them at those parties, man, I have never seen people so happy, because what if they really wanted to go to the after parties after the awards, but they didn't? They could have, but they sacrificed all that to give us something, to do the V lives after the award shows and stuff like that. So they isolated themselves when they probably want to be hobnobbing it with the artists and stuff, but they didn't. So that's because what we expected, and we got spoiled with that. So now BTS is on a new era, and J-Hope started this, and then V with his friend Cation. You can see that on something called High TV app, because it's not on Disney Plus USA yet, so you can watch it on there. It's a free app, so that's where I'm watching it. So now we get all these new things. We had Sugar with Psy, and seeing him dance in the clips that show with at the little festival or Psy concert was great, you know. So let's enjoy them for being them as people, and maybe as fans, let's lower our expectations, because the thing about it, if you keep your expectation low, not saying that you're settling, but if you keep your expectations low, when then you're not going to be as disappointed if you don't gain something because your expectations weren't low. But as you grow in a relationship with people and stuff like that, if they exceed those expectations that you kept low, you will probably appreciate it a little bit more. And not only would you appreciate it a little bit more, you will hold on to it a little bit better. And then you won't burn somebody out. And then they may continue to do those things that you like. Because, yeah. And so with BTS right now, let's keep our expectations low. And let's enjoy them. But thank you, J-Hope, for this album. It is fire. It is #1. It is all hip-hop. 90s hip-hop. And I'm here for it. So that's about it for me with this little podcast-esque reaction. My name is MJ. I am the host of this channel, MJ Drama Life. And as I said in the beginning, if you like raw talk about K-pop K-pop artists, the Korean music, Korean dramas, I'm here for it. I don't try not to sugarcoat anything. I try to be as nice and polite, to be respectful. And it's from my viewpoint. I've been, like I said, been listening to K-pop since 2007. I'm watching K-dramas, and I got introduced in 1997. And I think I have a video on here that explains how I got into all this stuff. And I think I'm going to be in this stuff to the day I die. But anyway, thank you for joining me, even though it's a hot mess. I appreciate it. I will do my best to upload at least a video once a month. Yes, I don't have time to get content, because I am working a 40-hour plus week job. So anyway, I will upload a video once or twice a month, and I will have, let's see how this goes. I'm trying to rebrand myself. Anyway, I'm just rambling. I don't know, you guys don't want to hear the rambles. You just want to get to the point. But anyway, follow me on my socials, which is MJ Drama Life. I have Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and I do have a TikTok. Also, if you like this, go ahead and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Again, my name is MJ, and instead of starting a drama, watch a K-drama. All right, bye. You guys have a great day.